Now, despite those headlines, most analysts out there, and there are a lot, remain bullish on Nvidia, including your next guest, who sees 20% more upside from here. Joining us now is Vivek Arya. He is senior semiconductor analyst at Bank of America Securities. Vivek, what are the main one or two things you're first going to look at tonight?
Hi, Brian. Yes, we described their guidance. The technical term we use is messy. And I think it's for two reasons. One is that the quarter that they will guide to, the current July quarter that they are in, this will face a big chunk of the restrictions on their H20 product that was destined for China. That's almost a $15 billion sales hit. I think the unknown is how much of that gets reflected in their guidance. We think it could be as high as 7 or 8 billion. That's a lot more than where consensus is in terms of that restriction effect. The second issue is product transition, that they are transitioning from the older Hopper generation, which was a lot more boards that they were selling, to the newer Blackwell generation, which is in very strong demand right now. But it does mean moving to more racks. So just the ramp cost of going to that new product generation. I think those are the two things that can make this current quarter guidance, as we described it, as messy. The good news is that as we get into the second half of the year, the demand environment is exceptionally strong. I think a lot of the China restrictions impact will be sized and priced by consensus. And number three, the product transition effects that we described, we will be on the other side of it. And, the transition to Blackwell to B200 and B300, I think will be much smoother than what we have seen so far.
Vivek, our last guest, Michael Aroney, and others have suggested that the gains from AI are now moving away from Nvidia towards the players who are deploying the technology to make their workplaces more efficient and so forth. Doesn't that feel like it's what's happening to you, that the moment for Nvidia is kind of past?
Kelly, I would describe that debate as, half of the debate is that, there is no ROI on the spend. And the other half is, well, we are seeing too much ROI, return on this investment, and we are moving away from the infrastructure build. I think the answer is somewhere in between. There is still a few more years of infrastructure deployment that has to be done. If you look across most enterprises, and if you say that on a scale of 1 to 10, where are you in generative AI deployment? I think they're more likely closer to 1 than they are to 10. The second thing is this new breed of sovereign AI investor, right? And you mentioned before the investments that the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, the UAE are doing. They're just getting started on these infrastructure rollouts. So I think we have at least 2 or 3 more years of infrastructure deployments to be done. But it's great to see that this is being monetized by customers across a whole range of enterprise verticals. But I wouldn't say that is coming at the expense of infrastructure. I still think we have a few more years of very strong infrastructure deployment. I think we're only about a third of the way of infrastructure deployment right now.
A third of the way.
You know what's been amazing is that Nvidia is where all the attention is, Vivek. I know you cover semiconductors. We did a little search this morning. This year, the best performing semiconductor stock is not Nvidia. It's not even close. It's KLA. It used to be called KLA 10 Core, CLAC, if anybody remembers that. It's soaring this year. They make things that make semiconductors. Why is that stock doing so well this year?
Sure, Brian. No, it's a good observation. What we have seen so far this year is that the outperformers have actually been AI adjacent. So if you look at KLA, if you look at Lam Research, they make the machines that are used to make a lot of these AI chips. So we are starting to see the benefits more upstream in the supply chain. And if you look at other adjacent names to, the design software names, they have been also very resilient. So it is true that in the near term, some of the excitement has moved from the data center beneficiaries, such as an Nvidia or a Broadcom. But we think this is more a cyclical effect. I do think that as we look out in the future, I think the core of the data center beneficiaries are going to be these names, such as an Nvidia or a Broadcom. But at the same time, to make them successful, you will see the benefits spread out to these adjacencies in semi-cap equipment and design software tools.